Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and I'm bringing you a very exciting video because there is a huge DPS update on the experimental What's that? So if you couldn't tell, Genji was one of the heroes that got buffed with the recent experimental update. And I do want to focus on Genji in this video because he's the perfect example of a hero that over the past couple years hasn't necessarily gotten bad or even better. He just low-key has become obsolete in recent times because of the addition of new added heroes where they become meta, and Genji doesn't necessarily thrive in the meta where they take over. So I do feel like he is going to be the next hero that Blizzard really focuses on to try to balance, and in this case balance for the better. But along with our bootleg Naruto character, his brother Hanzo also got a buff as well, which I don't think anybody was really asking for. Don't know why they buffed him. Echo got a nerf, which I'm sure people would have been asking for in due time, and Mora got a rework. But rather than just telling you guys who got a rework, let me at least show you guys so that you can see how big these changes are, because I feel like these changes on experimental mode are gonna be pretty significant unlike other experimental updates. So Echo's up first. In regards to her beam, it decreased from 20 meters to 16 meters, which 4 meters might not seem a lot, but it's a huge difference. The star of the show, Genji, got the best buffs of all time, where his shurikens now do 30 damage per star, and also his deflect receive a quality of life change where you can now manually cancel it, and it also lasts 2 whole seconds rather than 1.5. But something that I want to showcase specifically is the spread on his secondary fire, where now the spread is to 9 meters. I don't necessarily know how they measure out spread, but I can just show you the difference between the two, and you can see on experimental mode that's way closer to the center, which you kind of want because the closer you are, the more stars are more likely to hit the enemy. But if you're farther away, you won't necessarily see the changes, but if you're up close, yeah, this is going to do a lot of damage, and especially so since now you can do 30 damage. But while Blizzard succeeded with Genji, they once again failed us by buffing a useless hero like Hanzo, where now you can do 70 damage per storm arrow. Why? I try to be as unbiased as possible in these videos, but nobody asked for this, Blizzard. But something that people were asking for was a Mora nerf, and we got it, but we also got a buff to her heals, where now she does 70 heals rather than 65 heals per second, but her secondary fire, now it does 40 damage rather than 50, which is a whole lot of damage considering that other healers are going to be healing whoever you're attacking. So no longer will the DPS Moras frolic. And those were all the hero changes on experimental mode, which I really want to stress are only on experimental mode, not on live servers, at least not yet. From like the 5 or 6 times that they updated experimental mode, they usually always push it to live servers, even though Jeff Kaplan said that they were going to test out outrageous changes, but then they just proceeded to use it to nerf Mei and make my life a living heck. So I don't know what the truth is anymore. Any single time Jeff Kaplan talks, I just feel like I'm being lied to. But call me Lana Del Rey because I like this abusive relationship that I'm in with Blizzard, Overwatch, and Jeff Kaplan. Also, that's not a joke. Like, abusive relationships are not something to joke about, but I genuinely feel like I'm in an abusive relationship right now. But on to Genji! What I feel like a lot of Genji mains have been dealing with also is this abusive relationship and feeling like they're being ignored by their daddy himself, Jeff Kaplan. Why do you continue to ignore Genji? Well, not no more, or at least I don't think so anymore. I briefly touched on this beforehand, where it seems like in the past couple of years, I can't really pinpoint a moment where Genji has gotten significantly better or even significantly worse. Like, yeah, early on in Overwatch's life, there was that Dragon Blade nerf, but he was still meta until like season, what, 5, 6? I don't really know. So that nerf wasn't really anything too big. And then there was like a buff where he increased his speed to his shurikens. And other than that, off the top of my head, I can't really think of that pivotal point or that moment where he became significantly meta or significantly unmeta, where he got a rework to the likes of Mercy or Symmetra or Torbjorn, or something like he was the talk of the town like how Mei was recently. He just was stagnant over the past couple of years. And I always say this, but Overwatch is a forever evolving game, and whenever you throw a monkey wrench into the hero roster, yeah, it's gonna make heroes indefinitely worse or indefinitely better. Like whenever it came to Ashe, for an example, like this didn't actually happen, but when you throw Ashe into the mix of it, that means Pharah is gonna get worse because, well, now there's a counter to Pharah, but then that's gonna make someone like, I don't know, Diva better because she can eat a lot of the TNT and bullets of Ashe. That's just an example, but what I mean by this is that whenever you throw heroes like Brigitte or Moira or Baptiste that can protect themselves from the flanks of Genji, well then that indefinitely means that he's just gonna be a useless hero or more or less just an obsolete hero. Like, you gotta think, back in 2016, what were the four heroes of Overwatch? There was Symmetra, well, she's not really a healer, then there was Mercy, Zenyatta, and Lucio. Well, out of the 2-3 heroes, if you were playing a 2-2-2 comp, you were probably gonna be playing a Mercy where she's not able to defend herself, and if you play a Zenyatta, yeah, Genji is gonna thrive going against a Zenyatta, and against a Lucio, well, it's not like they can really counter each other. They're just kind of both there. Like, Genji, yeah, can attack Lucio, but Lucio can just kind of run away off into the distance. But what I'm trying to get at is that Genji, in that kind of meta where these healers, which is Genji's favorite target, is not going to be able to defend themselves, but then when you add all these new heroes, yeah, it's going to make him a bad hero, even though he didn't get worse. And I think Blizzard has slowly realized that they didn't make a bad hero, they just made really good heroes that made Genji obsolete. So now it's Genji's time to get a little bit better, and I feel like that's why they're taking a hard look at him and trying to figure out, okay, how do we make him better when he's already good, but how do we not make him overpowered to the point where he's not only able to kill the healers that he typically goes after, like the Zenyatas and the Mercies, but then he's also killing all the tanks and all the squishies and just becoming the #1 meta hero of all time. Shut up, phone. That's why I'm saying this specific patch is making Genji a potential case of being one of the best meta heroes. Now, that might be an outrageous case to make because for the longest time, he's never really been the meta hero. He's been a popular hero because everybody loves Genji, or at least all the 13-year-olds love Genji, which is like the whole entire Overwatch community. But while we're getting Genji buffs in the same patch, we're also seeing Genji counters get nerfed. Not only just with Moira and the damage that otherwise would have been done against Genji, which is like his kryptonite, but also with Brigitte nerfs way back in the day with her shield bash, which is a big protection and a big cock block against Genji. And then Mei recently just got a bunch of nerfs where also the freeze would have been done on Genji. Like, until I bring it up, you don't really realize how many things can really stop Genji from being that flank happy hero. Where beforehand, you really just had to worry about like a Roadhog hook, and that's it. You had free range to do whatever you wanted to the healers and possibly the squishies. So while he's never ever gonna get back to that #1 spot way back in 2016, when you look at these changes, when you look at the quality of life changes to his deflect, where now the good Genji mains can possibly have even more DPS potential because they're able to cancel out their deflect because they just wanted to deflect the Moira ball, and now there's less spread so that you can be a little bit farther away from those healers that do have protection abilities, like the shield bash that I keep mentioning, or like Baptiste's shots so that it's a little bit harder to hit you. You start to realize that the good Genji mains are going to have a lot more opportunities to do good in a meta where, yeah, it might not favor him, but because you do good with Genji, you're going to be able to thrive because you're just a good player in general, which is what I always say and what I always hope Blizzard strives for whenever it comes to updating Overwatch heroes, is that you never want to make a hero overpowered. But on the flip side, they also don't want to make a hero worse so that another hero can be good. What they all want to do is bring heroes to that 0 point. And what is that 0 point, boys and girls? Balance. The most balanced game known to man is rock, paper, scissors, because you have an equal chance of winning the game and an equal chance of losing, and an equal chance of tying the game no matter what option you pick. And that is what Blizzard is going to strive for, because every single hero should be playable no matter what the map, no matter what the meta, and no matter how good or bad a hero is, but there still are going to be counters. Like, Pharah is a good hero, but wanna know what counters her? A soldier, an Ashe. But wanna know what counters a soldier and Ashe? A diva. Wanna know what counters a diva? A Reaper. Just like how in rock, paper, scissors, you pick scissors, well then to counter that scissors you pick rock. And that's why it's so hard to get to that 0 point in Overwatch, because using that same rock, paper, scissors example, if you wanted to add another option, rock, paper, scissors, you're gonna throw off that whole balance. Because let's say you throw in the tactical nuke option in that rock, paper, scissors game. Well, tactical nuke not only beats paper, but also rock and scissors. But then they add a new option into the game, i.e. another hero into the game, which is the cockroach option, which gets beat by rock, but it's able to beat out paper and the tactical nuke and even scissors because it can run away. But then you look at it, and that is paper suffers from not only tactical nuke, but also the cockroach option and can only beat out rock. In this example, this terrible metaphor, Genji is the paper where it needs to get back to that 0 point. So then you added another hero, option rather, Scissor, which is a human finger so that paper can thrive, but then you buff that Scissors option and give them shark teeth because you need to make it a little bit powerful so it can beat rock. I hope this metaphor makes sense, but I'm trying to explain to you why Genji was not necessarily bad, but just became obsolete, but why he's slowly going to become a meta hero because they recognize that they added so many good heroes that counter Genji that now it's Genji's time to be good. Admittedly, on the surface, these changes might seem insignificant, but if you haven't noticed by now, Blizzard does that a lot when it comes to their changes. They don't want to make a whole entire patch dedicated to just one hero. They want to change little bits of it. I mean, you saw with Mei. They nerfed her, and they nerfed her, and nerfed her, and nerfed her. And that was their plan that whole entire time. And now with Genji, they're going to buff Genji, and then hopefully buff Genji again, nerf Moira, and then they were possibly going to nerf Baptiste, and then nerf Brigitte, so that Genji can slowly rise up, but then those three heroes that I mentioned before can slowly rise down to, once again, get to that balance point. So is Genji going to be the next #1 hero that you're going to be seeing in every single one of your games? I mean, you were already going to see Genji in all of your games because, once again, everybody loves to play Genji, but now he's going to be a little bit better, especially people that know how to play Genji or just stowed him away because it was just so good to play Echo or good to play Mei. Well, now both of those heroes got nerfed, and maybe they can try Genji again, and they can see the slight potential that he now brings because of his extra deflect and because of his extra damage and low spread. But until that happens, I'm gonna be saying he's gonna be a much better hero, and he's already been a good hero, but a much better, already good hero. I'm gonna go, guys. I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think about Genji and the current steps that Blizzard are trying to take Overwatch in, and I'll see you guys later. I love you guys, and bye.